Squad here.
Welcome back. We back again with the Midweek edition, the week Midweek edition on this channel, the Football Heritage. We had a lot of games midweek. We had the Kings Cup. We had Premier League games, and Liverpool they moved 13 points clear over Arsenal in the race for the Premier League title. It's just a matter of time now before Liverpool can lift the Premier League title come May. And Arsenal, they score blank at they score blank against Nottingham Forest, who are third place in the Premier League table. So the first game we're going to look at today, gentlemen, uh, on Tuesday, Chelsea they won comfortably against a team that I can say they are already relegated. Southampton, 4 goals to 0. They have four different goal scorers in Kunku, Pedro Neto, Levi Colwell, and Mark Kukuraya. So, Mr. Cornell, let me come to you. What's your take on the Chelsea game?
What I want to say, go even to you, go even to my brother Vibe, go into all of our listener and follower, well wisher, and go even to the football world. It was an interesting midweek fixture. So straight to the Chelsea and Southampton game. I think that game was a one-way traffic. We expected Chelsea to come up victorious in that match, and it did because Southampton is a struggling team. They're already, gone. They'll be relegated. There's no question about that. Um, so Chelsea needed to take advantage of that because Southampton is the struggling team. They've been pulled through all the season, so they needed that win. And scoring 4 goals in a game is something to give them some level of confidence. Um, they did that, but we don't know if they're going to continue on that path. So because they play a lesser side, so hopefully they can continue their good scoring form. Maybe it could be that it could be a recovery game for them since um, they score up to 4 goals in a game. It been a very long time to see Chelsea scoring such a score, coming up with such a score. So it was a good game for them from the Chelsea perspective. They needed a win and they got it. They got it right. So congratulations to Chelsea. We expected that. We didn't expect Southampton to turn or to upset Chelsea. If that's going to happen, it was just going to be a surprise. But what a way of coming back for Chelsea.
Thank you very much for that brilliant analysis. Verbally, Chelsea, they won midweek 4 goals to 0. They are third win in 12 Premier League games, and now they are fifth place in the Premier League table. So, what's your take on the game? You muted, Vabwe.
I want to say good evening to our listeners, also good evening to our followers that are watching us tonight. Also, my greeting go to Brother Yaya and also the president himself. Well, Chelsea beating Southampton yesterday. It's not to say that actually Southampton they are in their best now because when you look at Southampton level on the table now, they are to relegation zone now. Even though Chelsea is beating them 4-0, that doesn't mean that actually they are in good form because it's just that they are going to play a smaller side, which is Southampton because they are not really performing in this season. So they are down. So you cannot just grade Chelsea because of their beating Southampton 4-0. That doesn't mean that actually they are in their best form. So they also need to work on their playing time, to train hard, so they can come back stronger to do something because by beating Southampton out about 4-0. It's just a one match. Everybody, we also know that everybody is beating Southampton because Southampton they don't even have hope now. Instead of the qualifying, uh, wanting to move out of that relegation thing. So it's very difficult for them now because everybody is beating them. Whenever things are going against Southampton, you need to go check your TV point. If there's no so, it's not very easy. So they are well deserved that 4-0 yesterday. Also beating that game is just a pre-match for them for their next game. Maybe anything they need to play now. So it's a congratulations for them. Well done. And also they have to improve their game.
Thank you very much, boy. Chelsea, they did a job on Tuesday because they had to win. And if you look at their fixtures, the next 2 months they play the two worst team in the Premier League in row. They play Southampton Tuesday, and their next Premier League game will be at home again against Leicester City, which we expect them to win. After that, they get a lot of difficult fixture coming up. And they did a job. They won 4-0. It's been a long time since they win four goals to zero. And it's still going to be difficult for Chelsea because Southampton, they are already done. 9 points this season. Just 9 points. So they are finished. They already planning for the championship. So, but we just have to say congratulations to Chelsea because they still had to win again and they did. So we move on to the the Copa del Rey semi-final first leg. Barcelona against Atletico Madrid at the Camp Nou, which ended 4-4. So first leg, 2 times now, Thiago Simone, he has visited the Camp Nou in La Liga and the first leg of the Copa del Rey. He won a La Liga game and he drew. The last 10 minutes, they were down 4 goals to 2, and they managed to score 2 time goals to draw the game. So, Mr. Connor, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, that was an interesting game. We know that Barcelona were coming. They were coming hard with a revenge because they lost to Atletico Madrid, like you said, in La Liga. So it was a perfect opportunity for Barcelona to recover or to get the first leg match to win the first leg match in the semi-final Copa del Rey. Um, the first 7 minutes, Barcelona was down 2 goals to 0. That was an interesting movement in the game, and then um, Barcelona were able to turn out the run. They was in the lead in the second half, 4-2, and then approaching the dying minute of the game. And we, although through the whole season, Atletico Madrid, they've been so strong going to the end of the game. They scored so many goals in a dying minute. And this is how they won Barcelona in La Liga. And it was the same situation, 4-2, 2 goals deficit, and then in the last 10 minutes, they managed to tie the score. So it's an interesting feature for the both team right now. They're going to Atletico Madrid home. I think from my point of view, that tie is still open. It's still open to both sides. Either side can win the second leg and just go through to the final. But well done to Atletico Madrid because 4-2 down at that stage of the lead, and this is the Barcelona that scored that good at scoring so many goals. So they kept on going, they kept on pushing, and they finally got the equalizer. We got to give some credit to Simone, the manager of Atletico Madrid. This guy is a very technical and tactical coach. He really put um, he experienced into place, and he got the best result at that moment because he was already done. The best result for you is to draw. So I think it's a well deserved point from that they got from that game. We look forward to the second leg, how it's going to end up. But it was a very interesting game from the two teams. They kept on going. They score goals. They defend. So it was really interesting. We're looking forward to the second leg to see how it's going to be.
All right. Thank you very much for that better analysis. Verbally, Atletico Madrid, a team that is very difficult to beat, and they show it against Barcelona, even though they were down with less than 10 minutes to go, yet they didn't lose. What's your take on the game? You hearing me?
Well, I think the two things have both. Yeah, getting you.
Yeah, go
I think
ahead.
the two teams have both standing point now. Atletico Madrid and Barca, they have 50-50. They have the two. They both teams have the two 50-50 equal position now because Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, we saw the foil leg. It was very difficult at this time. And now Atletico Madrid, while they are playing, they try to play that defensive tactic and also try to put attack attacking force. And whenever they get the ball, they will also pull it for them to play that for halfway and score. And Barcelona, always, when they have ball, they will always like to hold ball, play that midfield. They are holding ball. And Atletico Madrid always move counter on them. So the game was very fantastic.
Vabo, your
The
internet
both
get a
teams,
little problem
Barcelona
today.
were able to receive that two goal early.
Your internet get a little problem. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Hello?
Vaboli. Yeah, your internet get a little problem. Just set it up. I
You
don't know
get it?
what's going on. I'm hearing you, but you keep coming in going. It is like cutting off, breaking. So let me just continue. I'll come back to you. Yeah, it was an interesting game. I watched the game and Atletico Madrid they started brightly. They scored two early mini goals. 6 minutes they were already up 2 goals to 0. Julian Alvarez and Antoine Griezmann scored the 2 goals. Then
What?
Barcelona
What's
settled in. Pedri and Paul Kubasi scored two quick goals too. The 3 minutes they scored 2 goals in the 19 and the 22 minutes to equalize on Atletico Madrid. Then they struggle after Martinez scored to make it 3-2. In the 74 minute, Robert Lewandowski scored to make it 4-2. At that point, a lot of people that are watching the game thought there is no way back for Atletico Madrid because game over 70 minutes, the time Lewandowski scored the 4 goals. Can you lower that, Vabwe? There.
Just gotta
So,
just mute yourself.
a lot of people that are watching thought there is no for Atletico Madrid because game over 70 minutes, the time. So, uh, then Atletico Madrid, they rally around Diego Simone. He brought in Sola and Correa, and then Lorente scored a third goal for Atletico Madrid. Then injury time, Sola equalized to make it 4-4. So it was a brilliant game, and Atletico Madrid they deserve it. Both teams had a lot of chances. Barcelona now shot on target Atletico Madrid 7. So they had a lot of opportunity. It's not like they didn't have more opportunities in the game, but they had more. So the return leg it's gonna be a tough game because the winner will go to the final. So we move on. Yesterday, Man City they won against Tottenham Hotspur 1 goal to 0. Erling Haaland, after missing the Champions League game and one Premier League game against Liverpool, he came back into the starting lineup yesterday and scored a 1 goal for Manchester City. They beat Tottenham Hotspur 1 goal to 0. So That means Man City they maintain the full spot, which is a guaranteed spot for Champions League qualification next season. Mr. Corner, let me come to you. City, they won yesterday 1-0 at Tottenham Hotspur. And they are fourth place, even though they have a basement season. But yet, they maintaining fourth spot. And they were a little bit outplayed by Tottenham, but yet they kept a clean sheet. What's your take on the game?
Yeah, we have seen Man City through all the season. Those kind of games they will always win it because we know um the standard or the level Tottenham Spurs is playing this season. They're not having a good season. We know Tottenham Spurs will be a very tough side, but that's it's not the case this season. So we gonna give some credit to Man City because they won again 1-0. There was so many chances from the Spurs perspective, and they couldn't convert any of those chances into goal. But we know Man City always struggled against a tough side. We saw them against Liverpool of racing. So it shouldn't be the big surprise to see City winning against Spurs because Spurs have lost so many games this season to a smaller team. The team collapsed against so many smaller sides. They won them and they dropped so many points against those teams. But Man City getting their main striker back, it was good for them because he's a Taliban for them. He scored vast majority of that goals, and he proved that upon his return against Spurs. Um, they only worried about City chance of claiming the fourth spot is because of the inconsistency of winning games this season, winning games against the tougher side. They haven't been consistent with that, but it was a good game. They had some chances as well, but I think they're going to keep pushing. They're going to keep pushing from now to the end of the season because their season is over in the Champions League. It's over in the Premier League. Their bigger goal right now is just to keep going for that full spot, try to secure it to get a Champions League spot. But it was a great game from their perspective after losing to Real Madrid in the Champions League, and then they lost 2-0 to Liverpool. So they needed that win to come back to gain some level of confidence going to the end of the season. In order they should be able for them to be able to fight for the fourth place position. So it was a good game from their standpoint because they got the 3 points.
Thank you very much for that analysis. Yeah, City, all they had to do was to win because they just have to maintain that position. They have to be in the top four because you cannot spend 200 million over two or little over 200 million in the January transfer window. They all spent the rest of the 19 teams in the Premier League this January transfer window. So it is crucial for them to maintain that Champions League position. And this is why it is important to get a prolific goal scorer. Erling Haaland was the difference. And you need that in a team, a prolific goal scorer. Somebody who, it doesn't matter whether they dominate your team, but you know that he's going to get you a goal. You need that in your team. And he's a very important player in the team. Yesterday, he proved that. And City, it has been a long time for City to play a big game and keep a clean sheet. So that was also important too for City. And they're going to do a complete overhaul. That rumor going around that people like Gordogan leaving, Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, and Kevin De Bruyne. So that means they're going to spend a lot of money in the summer because they are clearing all 5 senior players in the squad. And for Tottenham perspective, they are being poor. And I don't know why the coach decided to keep Son on the bench. He didn't start again. Son and Kulusevski, your 2 best players, why are they not starting? Probably he's thinking on the Europa League because Tottenham, the Premier League is not important now. They will not be relegated. It doesn't matter whether they win, lose, because the 3 teams in the bottom, They will not even get 10 more points. I can see Leicester City moving from 17 points to 27, and Tottenham has 33 points. And I can see Ipswich getting additional 10 points. It's not happening. Southampton, they are there and buried. So probably the reason why he kept some of his senior players on the bench because of the Europa Thursday. That's what I want to believe, because there was, if not for the Europa, there was no reason why Son Heung-min and Kulusevski should be on the bench against Man City. That's a crucial game. So we move on to the next game, and Manchester United, they play at home again. Ipswich Town, they won 3 goals to 2. And early minute in the game, Andre Onana, another mistake from Andre Onana, allowed Ipswich Town to take the lead. And they scored an own goal to equalize, make it 1-1. Matthias Delay scored to make it 2-1. And Doku, the Manchester United fullback, was shown a straight red card in the 43rd minute of the game. And just few minutes later, Ipswich Town equalized to make it 2-2. But the second minute of the of second half, Harry Maguire scored a winner to win the game for Manchester United 3-2. So what's your take on that game?
Well, I think it was good result for Man United, but not a good game. Ipswich is a struggling team. Man United is a struggling team as well. But the level of Manchester, they should not be going down a winning game with such a tight scores again. Ipswich. But again, it happens. They having a bad season. Um, they struggling. Their coach, what the manager is doing right now is just to manage those players that he got in his possession. He want to get a better result out of them going to the end of the season. This is the only options he got right now, but he knows the team is not good enough. So all they got to do, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing to the end of the season, and then giving the opportunity to reshuffle the team. Those that supposed to be leaving, they will leave. But for Ipswich, they down, they fighting to survive. So be it Manchester, be it whosoever that come across them, they're going to always fight, to get something out of it because every single point is kind of vital to them at the present stage of the league. Um, they still have a chance if they can win up to 4 or 5 games in succession. It might change a season for them. So this is what they were doing, and they saw themselves scoring 2 goals against Man United, and Miguel won again in a diamond to claim the 3 points for Manchester United. So I think Manchester United was a good result for them, despite the tie scores. But the 3 points is vital. They needed that in order to shift or change their start out on the league table, because they want to go to the Europe, be it the Champion League or Unified Conference League or the Europa League. So they got to keep pushing hard. They got to keep fighting every single game, and I believe this is what the manager is doing right now. The players, he's not getting exactly what he wants from those players, but he got to keep encouraging them. He got to keep pushing them hard. They got to make sure that this guy, when they get on the pitch, they get the necessary result. And the game yesterday was one of those situations for Manchester United. So it was a vital 3 points for them, despite the score. We know the team is not balanced. There's a lot of mischief in defense, in midfield, and in attack as well. So they're struggling, but at the same time, the manager is using his own ingenuity, trying to influence those players, making sure that they give that all, making sure that this is what we got. This is what we got left for the season. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep pushing to see us in the Europe next season. And I think he's doing that the right way. They're not getting the necessary result that they really want, but with those 3 points those 3 points they got yesterday was so important to them. They're just going to keep pushing every game by game, making sure that they get points from some of those games. Hopefully, at the end of the season, they can reshuffle Man United team because the current Manchester United team don't represent the Man United that we know. So, good result for them. It was not a great game from them, but it was a good result for them.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was the result was okay because it was against a team in a relegation zone. You don't want it to get closer to you, and they play over 45 minutes with 10 men. So I understand the 3-2 scoreline because the Premier League it's not an easy thing to play more than or half with 10 men and still win. First half ended 2-2, and they came back in the second half. They scored one goal early, meaning in the second half, and they they stopped Ipswich Town from scoring in that second half. So it was very important. But Diago, there are certain players. I don't know what happened to them. Player like Diago Dallo, this guy all season, he has been mentioned another West player all season. This guy is playing as a wing back. He cannot cross the ball. He cannot pass the ball. What is he really doing? What is he good at? And he is not even defending properly. And up front, Rasmus Højlund, this guy, his first touch is horrible. Link up play, terrible. This guy, he last 16 league game, 0 goal. This guy has only 2 goals all season in the Premier League. And this has been a major problem. Manchester United don't score. If you watch a lot of games, the opportunity can come, but they don't pull the opportunities away. If you look at Liverpool, people like Mo Salah, they don't need so many opportunities to score a goal. They can score a goal all or nothing. But the blame is on the owners because they didn't back the manager during the transfer window. You cannot bring somebody to take over a club and refuse to back him in the transfer window that you want to wait for the summer transfer window. You should start doing it in the January transfer window because he told you, you guys should wait for me. At the end of the season, I will call. You said no, you have to come now or never. And he decided to sign now and you refuse to back him. Say he should wait for the summer. So why didn't you wait for the summer also before bringing him on? And at the end of the day, it was a good result because we need to stay far away from those guys before they drag us into a relegation battle. And we just have to focus now on the Europa League and the FA Cup because this weekend, Manchester United will be playing the FA Cup against Fulham and away in the Europa League, the first leg. So, and we have so many injuries too. It's not helping. I don't know what's going on. They really need a medical staff. They need to fire everybody and hire new medical staff. Because from last season, Man United barely have players on the bench. You cannot go into a game like against Everton. We went into the game with so teenager on the bench. So what's going on? What the medical staff, what are they doing? Why are the players for the past 2 seasons? Why Manchester United players continue to get injured? What is going on? What is going on? So many injuries. 2 years in a row, there was so many injuries. What's going on? And they need to sort it out. And I was so glad that we won because we are far away from those guys now. Like 16-point margin between us. They are not catching all the drag or into that relegation battle. So a good win. But the first thing we need to do next season, there's a guy called Andre Onana. He has cost us than any other player from last season. This guy single-handedly cost Manchester United the Champions League last season. Man United score a lot of goals. If you go to places like Bayern Munich and score 3 goals, you shouldn't be losing 4-3. And almost all the goals were his fault. This guy, if at all we have limited budget that we cannot buy another goalkeeper, David De Gea contract expire the end of the season in Fiorentina. Please bring him back to his home. He is 10 times better than Andre Onana. If you don't have a budget right now, you want to prioritize maybe the Mayfield and the attack, please, it's easy. Just bring David DJ back. You are not buying him. The same way he left free, you can bring him back. This is one of the reasons why Ten Hag got fired. By putting trust in Andre Onana, it led to his downfall. Because if you don't have a good goalkeeper, you are doomed. No matter how strong your team is, you finish. Yesterday, both goals that Manchester United conceded were his fault. He's a terrible goalkeeper. This is a guy who, when he's saving a shot, he will always nail the ball in the danger zone. The first rule they will teach you as a goalkeeper, whenever you are saving a shot, do not nail the ball in the danger zone. Play the ball on the side. You cannot nail the ball in the danger zone. But this guy, he is very terrible. Bring David De Gea back. If you don't have money to buy a goalkeeper, bring David De Gea back and let this guy go. Let this guy go. Andre Onana is the worst thing that ever happened to Manchester United. He's a terrible goalkeeper. I have never seen in my lifetime a terrible goalkeeper for Manchester United equal to Andre Onana. He's rubbish. They gotta get rid of him. They should start with that. Start with the goalkeeper. Get rid of the goalkeeper and start keeping some clean sheet. And we move on to the Arsenal game. Yesterday, Arsenal played Nottingham Forest 0-0. Nothing going forward. 2 shots on target all game. And they're just terrible going forward right now. Arsenal. And Mikel Arteta, he has spent 5 years plus at Arsenal, and yet he never signed a point striker. Yesterday, they drew 0-0 against played Nottingham Forest. And after the game, they asked the Nottingham Forest coach, because most big games he played with a bar 5. Why didn't you use a bar 5? He said, why would I use a bar 5? They had no goal threat. Say they have no goal threat, so I'm not using bar 5. So, Liverpool are now 13 points clear of Arsenal. Arsenal drew yesterday. What's your take on the game?
It was an interesting game. Arsenal trying to, sometimes you cannot miscalculate or you cannot judge for your opponent, relying on them to drop points, like what Arsenal was doing, that Liverpool was going to drop points against Man City, Newcastle, and then they was going to win that game, and then the points gap was going to be so narrow, and then when Liverpool and Arsenal meet, and then they will just go on top of Liverpool. You can't do that. That possession is wrong. You just focus on your game. Win your games. Forget about the person ahead of you. When the time comes for them to drop points, they're going to do that. But for me, I knew when Liverpool drew against um, Everton and they drew against Aston Villa, and then people was thinking that Liverpool were kind of like the team was kind of shaking a little bit. They might end up, dropping more points against City and Newcastle, and Arsenal will be able to take over the league. It doesn't work that way. Take into consideration the Arsenal current team. Their form is terrible. They're not scoring goals. They also conceding goals. I knew that Arsenal was going to drop points, and it happened. It happened against West Ham, and now it just happened again Nottingham Forest, and they still got so many tricky matches to play. So it was a terrible game from the Arsenal standpoint. You cannot win again in that manner. The whole game you only getting like two shot on target. That's horrible. You know, we do agree that you're playing a tough side, but it should be causing some threat. You
No,
should be causing them
excuse
some.
me. It was one shot on target. I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh
They
yeah,
had one
okay,
shot on target.
yeah. I think they had another attempt, but maybe that was not
No,
on
on target
target.
was just one.
Yeah. So that's a terrible, terrible performance. You cannot win a match like that. For from the Nottingham Forest point of view, they was waiting to catch Arsenal on the break to get a goal. Unfortunately for them, they didn't. Arsenal they defended pretty well too to stop the Forest from scoring. But that was not a good result from the standpoint. What shocked me more, I think Arteta said that his season, the title race season, is not over yet. Prior to the game, I think he made a comment as well that over his dead body that they will surrender um, the title race
He's
to
he, he's
Liverpool.
he's a joker.
Yeah. So why are you thinking? This is not by saying something. This shouldn't be by mouth. Just making a comments, making statement. You got to prove that on the pitch. All right. This guy refused to bring in striker during the January transfer. He relied so much on those guys that he had. Now the injury hit him. Some I see some Arsenal fan online complaining that Liverpool had never had a major injury. This is why they keep going. No, don't think about the next person.
Liverpool had
Think about your
Allison
team,
out. Allison over
right?
3 more. He's the best goalkeeper
Allison
in the
was
world.
out. Trent Alexander went out. Sobostar went out. Jota went out. So those are not excuses. All right. You had, let's say, okay, we agree now that Saka is out. Okay, bringing somebody to January, he had a whole bunch. And if the money was available, go ahead and bring in Poliber goal scorer that will keep you moving because you cannot keep going if you don't have a goal scorer. This is the problem of Arsenal. They're not scoring goals. Their defense is not terrible like other teams in the Premier League. All right, their midfields are not terrible as well, but they don't have a consistent goal scorer. And you cannot win a title league. I mean, you cannot win a title without scoring goals. Goals give you results. Playing the game, defending well, playing the ball around. If you can't get the ball at the back of the net, you're not going to get the 3 points. Those 3 points are vital. The 3 points show the difference between you and whosoever that competing. That this is what Liverpool is doing. They're doing it rightly. All right, their mentality, and they got somebody who is consistent with assists and scoring goals, and you don't have that. So this is the difference between Liverpool, the current Liverpool squad, and that of Arsenal. All right, they thought Man City was the only threat to them. They forgot to know that 2019 Liverpool won the Premier League, and they came close to winning it twice in succession before Arsenal came second to Man City twice. So you cannot underestimate Liverpool. You seen the team have been together for so long. They got so many quality players, and they got a talisman that is you don't have. All right. So it was just miscalculation from the entire Arsenal manager team, the entire board. It was wrong calculation. You cannot rely on the result of the other team. Like they already ahead, and then you predetermine what gonna be their next game result, and you say you're gonna win, but they're gonna drop points. That's insane. All right. This is what is finding themselves dropping more points. I do agree that Liverpool played more one game more than Arsenal, but how sure are you that they're going to win? The 90-point gap is 13. 13 points is not something easy to recover, more especially they found Liverpool in. Since the drop points again, Everton and that of Aston Villa, see their past two games, their performance. All right, they won those games without conceding goals. So they were conceding goals, but now they stopped conceding goals. 2 games in succession, playing a very Newcastle is not a bad team. They're a very good team. Playing Newcastle, stopping them from scoring and scoring 2 goals again, and it's a difficult task. And Liverpool did that perfectly. So there are things that they're working on. The team keep on growing. This is why they are here. So unlike Arsenal, the fans just determined St. Messi is no longer in the title race. It's all Arsenal. It's all Arsenal now to the end of the season. That's wrong. So it was a terrible game from them. Um, Nottingham Forest had so many chances. They created chances, but they couldn't convert them. I think it was kind of like frustrating for Nottingham Forest not to win that game. From that standpoint, they believe that they could have won that game. They deserved winning it. But again, there was a big game. It was a big game, a big team that they played against. So terrible result from Arsenal. It's so frustrating. It's just going to keep adding up their frustration. All they need to do is just focus on the next game because those ones are gone already. Focus on the next game and see if you can get a point from it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Arsenal. The problem with Arsenal, Mikel Arteta is the major problem on our team. But a lot of Arsenal fans, they will not accept it. This guy, he has shown to the world that he doesn't have what it takes to win a proper trophy like the Premier League or the Champions League. He has been at the club for over 5 years. He has not signed a proper striker. Mikel Arteta spent over 750 million on players. He has signed about 34 players. 26 of the 34 were signed on a permanent deal. The rest were on loan, and loan fees were paid. But just the permanent signing, 26 players since Mikel Arteta joined Arsenal Football Club. But yet, he has not signed a proper striker. This guy, he was a bank average footballer who was playing for Everton. Bank average. He was never good enough. This is why he didn't play for Spain. He never, zero cap for the Spanish national team because he was a bank average footballer. And the reason why he signed for Arsenal, it was a panic buy. When Manchester United defeated Arsenal 8-2, 2011, August, 8-2. Arsene Wenger, when the ball Alessandro, they say, oh, the defense was leaking and the Mayfield. They bought one Brazilian who was one of the worst Brazilians in the Premier League, Alessandro. They signed Pep Mertesacker, few others guys, along with Mikel Arteta. He was a panic buy. And he is also a bank average coach. This is a man who is the third highest paid coach in world football. Can you imagine? Arteta makes almost twice as Ancelotti. Ancelotti is on 8 million a year. Arteta is on 15 million. Third highest paid coach in world football. Only behind Diego Simeone of Atletico Madrid and Pep Guardiola of Man City. Those are the only two managers that make more money than Mikel Arteta. This guy is being paid a fortune for doing absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter how many times Arsenal will give Arteta, he will never win the Premier League or the Champions League because he is a coach who doesn't have that ability, that tactical ability. He doesn't have it. You went to the January transfer window with all a striker. Jesus injured, Saka injured, Martinelli injured. But yet, you refuse to sign a striker. So how are you going to win? Since they got joined the club, every transfer window, Arsenal needed a striker, but he refused to sign one. It's not just this season problem. They have been having a problem. If they had a prolific striker, the past 2 seasons that Man City won the Premier League, they could have won both or one, at least one of those 2. But they don't have a striker yet, because this guy, I think he doesn't like striker. Because when he joined Arsenal, the 2 striker Arsenal had, he got rid of them. Aubameyang, who won Premier League Golden Boots before, Saint Thierry Henry, he was the best striker at that football club. That's the same Van Persie, was the best striker at that football club. And Lacazette, he got rid of the both of them. And he did not replace them. How are you getting rid of your 2 striker? You don't replace them. And since then, he has never replaced Lacazette and Aubameyang. Yet, Arsenal fans, a lot of them, the vast majority, they are delusional. They think they're going to win the Premier League. They adore Arteta like a king. Those same people that used to abuse their most successful coach in history, Arsene Wenger, they are the same people that adore Mikel Arteta for doing nothing. How are you abusing Wenger, but you keep clapping for a bank average manager like Arteta? Then they will tell you, oh, no good manager out there. Are you freaking kidding me? Liverpool just got slot. A first season he about to win the Premier League. There are hundreds of managers out there are better than Mikel Arteta. But because he was a bank average midfielder on Arsenal, so this is the reason why they are protecting him. This is the reason they're protecting the man. Emery didn't get such protection. Emery was fired. He was never protected. But with this guy, he is being heavily protected for winning nothing. And guess what? Saliba will go to Real Madrid this summer because that's Real Madrid target. Real Madrid don't miss. You can cry all you want, cry your tears. All you want. Saliba want to go. You think he want to be playing for Arsenal for another 3-4 years with all winning trophy? No. He wants to win trophy. When they go to the French national team, you see all the French guys there from Real Madrid. You see all the French guys there. You see all the French guys there on Real Madrid. The winning trophies. Then you, Saliba, you have nothing to show. Absolutely nothing. You can't show anything. So he is Real Madrid target to play alongside Rudiger. And I think Saliba will go. That's for sure. He will leave Arsenal and go to Real Madrid. Nobody want to waste their time on Mikel Arteta because with Arteta, they are not going to win. And trust me, Arteta will stay in the job. They're not sacking him. Even though some of the Arsenal fans want him sacked. But they will not sack him. They will keep him because he's going to the Champions League. That's all Arsenal people care for. It's a cycle, vicious cycle. This is Arsenal. It's the same Arsenal. They will fool their fans that they are about to win a major honor. And now, what they are talking about is to win the Champions League. How? I cannot even see that they're talking about playing Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. I can't see this Arsenal team that can score goal with crop PSV. I'm not seeing it. And it will be good for them to just drop this stage. Because if you don't drop this stage, you try to go play Real Madrid in a quarterfinal. It will be a hampering. They're going to drag Arsenal. So it will be very imperative for them to just crash up right now against PSV. Because if they don't, they're going to punish them severely. And Arsenal, their season is already over. Can you imagine a team? This is why they were making all the charm more around. Oh, as soon as Mercedes slip, we're winning the Premier League. How you only focusing on Mercedes? So I saw Mercedes slip, and then Mercedes slip. Why are you 30 points behind Liverpool in February? 13 points behind Liverpool. February, the season is done and dusted. Only a fool will think Arsenal will make a comeback. Arsenal, even they get Arsenal and Liverpool equal points right now, Arsenal will still lose the league because Arsenal will drop more points. They are not going to score. Arsenal drop more points. I'm confident Arsenal next game is again Manchester. I'm confident Manchester United will beat Arsenal again. They have all the players. They couldn't score against Man U. 10 men in our FA Cup. And Man U, the big game, Manchester United raised their game. Again, the big team, those guys, they raised their game. I can see them losing. So we move on to the champion-elect Liverpool. They won again, comfortably against Newcastle. They dominated Newcastle United in that game. And it was a comfortable win for Liverpool. 2-0. Mo Salah giving assist again in that game for Liverpool to win. 2-0. A comfortable win, which means Liverpool, they are now 13 points. 13 points clear of Arsenal. And Szoboszlai scored the first goal. McAllister scored the second goal for Liverpool. Newcastle United, they were absolutely dreadful. 0 shot on target, 90 minutes. They have 0 shot on target. You have to keep on target before you score. They have no chance of scoring. Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, they were in charge. What's your take on the game?
Another great game from the mighty Liverpool. We have seen it all season long. They've been doing it. Those guys continue to prove that they are title hungry. They won the title. They're desperate for it, and they're showing that in every single game. All right, they show the character. You can see it from the faces of the players. You can see it on the page, from that conversation, from their interview. Those guys desperate. They really want it, and they're not joking about it. All right. You can see from Liverpool. Let's go to the midfield. Let's go to the midfield. Ryan Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, McAllister, Szoboszlai. And all those three guys starts in the midfield, you're going to see the guys. They're going to perform the same way with the other. If the manager replaces one of them, the next person that coming on, he's like he was already in the game playing the same way the other person was playing. The same was Indo. When he comes on the pitch, he perform. No matter the time the person comes in, they still show character. They still shows desire that they want to win again. And this is why you need, if a team really hungry, they want to win a champion, they want to win a premiership or they want to win a title, those are things that they got to do. And those guys continue to prove that. Just look at Indo when he came in again against City. Let's just go back a little bit with the Man City game. He was very, very constructed in that midfield. He obstructed so many plays. With the few times he was on the pitch, the same with the defense. All right, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he hasn't been good enough this season. He been slacking the same with Robinson. But every time Simika, Kwanzaa, anytime one of those guys come on the pitch, they play brilliantly. So the entire team, just going, taking their time game by game. They're just playing their best. They just show to people that they want to win, and they're doing that perfectly. All right. So it was just another great game from the Liverpool standpoint. They started the game brilliantly. They defended well. They created so many chances. Mo Salah again, another assist from Mo Salah. We just talk about it. You need people of that kind. You need players of that kind that are going to keep fighting, that are going to keep causing so many trouble for the defense of the opposing team. And he's doing that. He's doing the job. He didn't score in Newcastle again, but he did manage to create a chance. He gave an assist, and they won again 2-0 with a clean sheet. So there's no doubt that those guys showing character in every single games that they go to. They continue to prove that. They continue to say it. They themselves, if you listen to Super Slide and McAllister interview after the game, they mention it, that they're desperate, that they say among themselves. And if the team is in such a spirit, all right, you're not going to stop them. Even if Man City was informed, this guy going to challenge Man City to the end, because we know their previous manager. He's a great manager. He got different way of approaching. He had different way of approaching matches as compared to Alan Slot. Alan Slot is the kind of manager that don't believe in conceding goals, and he's doing that perfectly. If you look at the number of goals they conceded season as compared to previous season with the previous manager, it's different. Their defensive record is so brilliant, and they're winning games as well. So he getting the best out of all those players that he met on the team. So they proved that on the pitch. Newcastle was no match to Liverpool. Mayu, don't get me wrong. Newcastle is a brilliant team. All right. They caused so many problems for other teams in the Premier League this season. Even the Liverpool that we discussed in the first leg, we saw it was 3-3. But it's a different game. So every game as the season progresses, every game those guys go to, they learn something new. When they come back to the next game, it's a whole different ball game. And they proved that again, Newcastle. They proved that. So from my point of view, if you ask me, I think the season is over. Arsenal going to fight. They're going to try to win some game. They're going to try to come closer, but it's just a difficult task for the Gunner Regs now. 13 points deficit, all right? 13 points. And those guys not showing no sign of slowing down, all right? They're kind of showing to people, there's no way. There's no way that those guys are going to slow down when they go into game. They continue to prove that. And Newcastle is a perfect example. We saw a Newcastle game. You saw how those guys approach the game. You saw how they handle the game. And one thing I have observed of Liverpool, whenever they're playing a game that is so desperate to win, the game management. Their game management, their ability to manage game. All right? We saw that against Man City. Man City decide to control the ball, and they decide to leave the ball with Man City. Man City control the game in their half. But if you're going on the break, those guys going on the break, they are so desperate, they are so dangerous every time they go on the attack. And they proved that. They won the game 2-0 with a clean sheet. So if Arsenal still believe that they can come back and take over the lead from Liverpool, they're getting it wrong. I don't think they're thinking right. Their season is over. Their season is over. The Champions League is what they should be concentrating on now, because it's a knockout competition. All right. I know they are tougher side in the Champions League, but they still have a chance because they stay in the league. But with the Premier League, 10 points different? No, you're done. You're not going nowhere. Just keep fighting to maintain your second place. But winning the title now, I think it's over for Matty Gunner. If you look at the number of games that remain for Liverpool, it's 10 games in hand. They still got 10 games to go. But with the current form of Liverpool, I don't think Arsenal stand any chance to win the Premier League. So great game from Liverpool. Newcastle, they are a great team. They try their best. They try to do everything possible to stop Liverpool. They try to cause some problem, but those guys were so solid. They were very good in defense. They were very good in midfield, and they were very good in every aspect of the game. This is why they won again 2-0 and with a clean sheet. So congratulations to Liverpool. Arsenal, you got to fight to do something in the Champions League, but I think the Premier League is over.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Liverpool continue to win. And this coach, he deserves his flower, because nobody expected him to even be in the title race, because even the mainstream media, when they were doing their prediction, a lot of people put Liverpool third or fourth. Nobody put them first or second to win the Premier League. The best position they gave Liverpool was third place. And for him to be up there consistently winning, it doesn't matter, no complaint. It doesn't matter the method he used, yet he still win. And a guy who didn't even have the money to sign player as a new coach. San Une Federico Chiesa, who barely played in the Premier League. And yet, he was able to transfer his philosophy to those players. And they took it in. They understood what he really wanted to do. And the back line for Liverpool, the central defense particularly, the two main guys, Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk, in my opinion, personally, they are the two best center back pairing in the world because
You're absolutely right.
they complement each other.
There's no doubt of that, Musa.
They complement each other. Ibrahima Konate is so underrated because when Liverpool win, if you watch the mainstream media, the pundits, they always praise Van Dijk because he's the captain, he's the main man. He has been there for so long. But Ibrahima Konate, he works his sock off. This guy, he's brilliant.
Yeah, Musa, I'm not cutting you. I think those guys continue to say that because of the leadership ability with that Van Dijk had. He controls the defense. He gives them instruction. Every time they're on the pitch, you see him. You tell from the action, and those guys follow his lead. So Konate is a brilliant defender, but when it comes to the leadership aspect of it, this is why they continue to rate Van Dijk over him.
No,
he's still a young player learning, you know.
I know Van Dijk is world class. Konate, he's on his way. He's on a rare trajectory of becoming a world class player because he's that good. This is why Deschamps always prefer him. He's the first man on front team sheet in the center defense. Even Saliba just started playing recently for France. But Konate is the first man on the team sheet. Even the other guy from Bayern Munich, he's not good enough. Upamecano, he's dreadful. But Konate, he's one of the main men in our team. Ibrahima Konate, he's solid. And again, Newcastle United, zero opportunity in the entire game. Newcastle, their midfield was so awful. They were so bad, terrible in the middle. Tonali, Joe Willow, and Bruno Guimaraes, they all were substituted because they were terrible. They are co-substituted, every one of them. The three guys that started in the middle of the path for Newcastle. That's how terrible they were because they were going against Liverpool midfield, Gravenberch, McAllister, and Soboslai. And how on earth? How can Liverpool? Yeah.
The game Liverpool had with Man City, I see a lot of people online try to discredit Liverpool sitting deep. It was a game plan from the manager.
This is why the manager is adaptable.
Right. It was a game plan. When Liverpool want to control, they could, control that midfield and City couldn't come around them. We have seen it. We saw it the first leg when it won City.
They knew City were toothless with all Haaland. That with Konate and Van Dijk, they will not score. And we saw it. They didn't score. And it's a baffle me to see, if you look at the Liverpool, the main guys in the middle of the park, Gravenberch and McAllister. How on earth Liverpool pay only 70 million for those two guys? And yet, Arsenal went and signed Declan Rice for over £100 million. And Liverpool signing Gravenberch and McAllister for 70 million. Good business. But you sign an overrated Englishman for over £100 million. How is that allowed to happen? How is that happening? Those guys are the two main men in the middle of the path for Liverpool. Gravenberch and McAllister. And McAllister is so versatile. This guy can play 10, he can play 8.
Right.
That's how versatile he is. When Soboslai is not playing, McAllister will play number 10. When Soboslai comes back, he dropped down to 8. But yet, Both row, he's so good. And Mo Salah yet again, even though he didn't score, but yet this guy gave assist. His 17 assists in the Premier League season.
I know for sure if as the position Liverpool is in right now, if Arsenal was in that position, the blueprint media, you're gonna see them talking everything. All praises going to Arsenal that the season is over, but they're not even talking about it. They still believe that Arsenal can still turn the season
Nah,
around. But
Arsenal is
the
not.
reality is clear. It's glaring, you know.
Arsenal is not coming back from this. They are done. They were topping 2 years ago, 8 points, and they bottled the Premier League to Man City, and they were topping last season. They just needed to win their last 7 Premier League games. They did well on Man City win their own game. Just win. 6 or 7. But one of the two, 6 or 7 games. Their last 7 games in the Premier League 7. The last 7 games in the Premier League last season. Win your 7 games, you champion. What did they do? They lost at home to their former coach Emery, Aston Villa. 2-0 at home. You want to win the Premier League, your last 7 games, home game against
Right.
Aston Villa, not even your title rival, but against Aston Villa, home game, you lose. I'm like, focusing, we have never lost that game. At
No.
home, at home, 7 games ago, he lost. So it's the title race is over and the Champions League is over. So Liverpool maintain the top spot, 13 point clear. They just increasing the lead. So Premiership is over. Even though mathematically Arsenal can win the Premier League, but that would be a miracle. So we move on to the last talking point. The Real Madrid game. Real Madrid won the first leg of their Kings Cup semi-final, 1-0 in Sociedad. They rested some player and Andre scored a long goal of that game for them to win 1-0. What's your view on that?
Well, on the Madrid and Sociedad again, I just want to talk a little bit about the 18 years old Enrique, and then the manager of Real Madrid, Don Carlos. This old man, he knows how to manage a player. He knows how to manage um, uh, younger players. You know, we saw Vinicius Jr. when Vinicius went to Real Madrid at a very young age. He managed him very well and developed Vinicius to a very big war star. Today we see the kind of football Vinicius Jr. is playing. He's doing the same thing with Andre. This kid got so many talent. He got special skill. If you look at that, the lone goal that was scored in that game by Hendrick, this 18 years old kid, a pass from Jude Bellingham, the ways he controls the ball, the way he played that ball outside his foot, it was so unbelievable. All right. So we saw Kylian Mbappe was absent. He stepped in a very big shoes. Kylian Mbappe is regarded as the world best striker right now, going to the end of the season with a number of goals in scoring, his contribution in the game. He was absent, and this kid came in to replace Kylian Mbappe in the Madrid game. That was a big, challenge for him, and he did that perfectly. He scored a brilliant goal that gave Real Madrid the 3 points. Now they got to go back to the Bernabeu, the return leg. It's going to be a tough side. I mean, it's going to be a tough game because Real Sociedad want to do everything possible to cause so many problems for the Real Madrid team. But I think Madrid is in a driving seat right now. They won away. Now they got to go and sit and just cruise the rest of the game because I think Kylian Mbappe going to return for the second leg, which is going to be good for him. They need him. He's their best goal scorer so far this season. He has proven that since he arrived. But it was a good game from the Real Madrid standpoint. They controlled the game very well and they defended very well. Fortunate for them, Rudiger is back. He was in the game. He's not 100% fit. You could tell from the way he was playing in that game. All right, he's not 100% fit, but because of his experience, all right, he experienced in the game, and he got a kid that playing alongside with him that's really developing again as well. He's taking instruction from him, so it makes things easier for him. All the dirty work he's supposed to be doing on the pitch, especially in the defense, Asensio is there doing the dirty work for him now because he got the energy. He's able to move around. He moved around all the time during the game, and then really got just sit and take a dead ball and play it back to the midfield, or sometimes play it back to the goalkeeper, and just relied and chilled in the game. So from the Real Madrid standpoint, it was a good result for them. It was also a good game for them. They featured so many young players in our game, and they rested some of their senior players as well. So it was a good game for them because they got the Champions League coming out midweek. So it's nothing to worry about from the Madrid standpoint. They're just going to go back to the Bernabeu and relax and make sure they pull out a win or draw it against to go to the final. So what a game from Real Madrid, and they're going to keep doing that. They have done it throughout the season. They had some tough challenges with the injury crisis and all the stuff, but they kept on pushing. They kept on going because of the manager they got. We got to give so many credit to Don Carlo, the Real Madrid manager, because it took a coach, it took a manager to manage a team. Your entire defense is out with injury, and you have so many crucial matches, so many tough games, but you still survive. All right. When I see coaches or I see managers complaining that, oh, we got injuries because of injury we're not winning, Don Carlos should be the number one manager to be doing that this season, but he's not doing it. He kept quiet, he kept on pushing, he kept on going, and it pays up for him. He trusted the young players from the academy. He brought in and they performed brilliantly. They gave him results. There will be a tough side. There will be, a lot of challenges because they are kids. They're still learning. There will be a situation where they're going to cause problem. We saw it one of the game. He brought a young player and he caused a penalty that resulted to goal. But they still managed to get out of it. All right, they still managed to get out of it in the Champions League. Now they got see where they are. They are in the round of 16. So I just saying all this stuff. Um, People sometimes try to compare Pep Guardiola with Don Carlos. That Don Carlos is nowhere near Pep Guardiola, but the ability to manage a buy squad or to manage a very few squad where you got major injury. You got major injury in your team, but the number of players that you got, the quality of player, you still manage to get through the season, or you still manage to get through a difficult game. We don't see that from Pep Guardiola. This is the first time to experience such a big challenge. All right, where a key player of his squad is out, but he still cries, he complains, and the team is not performing, and he complains all the time about injury crisis and all this stuff. It's not the same with Don Carlos. Don Carlos doesn't care. This man being in the game for so long. All right, he got the experience, he know how to do his thing, and it pays off for him. So this is something that we got to talk about sometime. But the blueprint media don't look at it from that point because they favor somebody. All right, it's so sad sometimes when I see it. Sometimes I just go and make comments and get out of there. And people make comments that kind of when you read it makes sense to you. But a good game from Real Madrid. I'm happy that they won their first leg. It take pressure off them. They got to go to the second leg. This is it's going to be their home ground, and it's obvious that Madrid going to come up victorious that game. There's no doubt that they're going to win or put a draw because they already won the first leg and they play home. The home fan is going to be behind them. So to climax and give my parting comment, you just give your view about the Real Madrid game
Yeah, I
coming
think
up.
it was a professional win. They needed to win or draw, and they got a win. They rested some players. Rodrigo came from the bench. He was on the bench, and Kylian didn't play at all because he had a tooth extracted from his mouth,
Yeah,
so he couldn't play. And if you look at Ada Gula, he started and Drake, and he says something that Vinicius is advising him. Because what he's going through now, as you said earlier, Vinicius went through it when Gareth Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo on the team.
Right.
Vinicius went to Real Madrid, 18 or 17. He was very
18.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very young. He was not starting. He barely played at that time. You have the BBC, Benzema, Bale, and Cristiano. So he couldn't play. And he was patient. He bear patient enough. And now he is the main guy in the squad. So Andre need to exercise patience. That's what he needs. Because his time will come. His time will come.
Absolutely.
And when it comes, like what he's doing now, that when you put you on, anytime they start you try to score or try to impact the game, you don't have to score, but have a
Right.
good impact in the game. So that victory was a good victory for Real Madrid because they play the Madrid derby in the Champions League on Tuesday at the Santiago Bernabeu, the first leg. So they needed to play that game in a professional manner, not to get another injury, and they did. So now they focus on the Champions League on Tuesday. So before we go, what's your parting comment?
Well, I just want to say thanks and appreciation to you, those that watching on the Facebook Live tonight. We want to say thanks you guys. We want to say keep sharing, keep following, encourage people to come and follow our page, and then we stay open to people joining us to be part of this. We appreciate everybody that comes on to make comment, and we also open to criticism, like we said before. If we're doing something wrong, you see it, you can go in the comment section, just make a comment, make an intention, just do it respectfully. This is all about fun. We love the game, we play the game somehow, and we stay following the game. So we here just to enlighten people mind who doesn't know some of those aspect of the game. We come and talk about it, we discuss again, we give our analysis. It's all based on our perception. So thank you guys for coming up with those comments session. People that make comment on the Facebook page and all this stuff. Thank you again. We're gonna be here the weekend. I think there will be La Liga matches this weekend, but no Premier League. I think the Premier League is taking a break because they play midweek and they got Champions League games coming on. So thanks very much for being here tonight, Musa Konen. Our brother Vibwit has some problem with his internet system. He couldn't continue. We hope to see him during the weekend. Thank you guys. Thanks you guys. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you very much for coming on. Yeah. So before we go, if you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the Football Heritage. The link is in the description. And anybody want to be part of this program, we just come here, we give our view. It is our opinion. You can also come and share your opinion on this platform. And please do subscribe to the Football Heritage. The link is in the description. With your help, this channel will grow. So we need you to share and subscribe. Thank you for listening. If you are in the Middle East or Asia and it's in the morning, good morning to you. And if you are in some part of the world where it's midnight or it is nighttime, good night to you. Where we are in the Twin City, Minneapolis, in Minnesota, United States of America. The time right now is 34 minutes after 8 p.m. So you guys can have a pleasant night. Peace. I'm out of here.